A cell phone company charges a monthly fee of $25 plus 5 cents a minute. So, using only words, they have described to us a function. This function expresses the monthly charges as a function of the number of minutes. Let us describe this function using a table. So I will have one row for the number of minutes and another row for the charges. So if we used 0 minutes, then we would pay the $25 fee and nothing else. Now, if we were to use 100 minutes, then 100 minutes times the 5 cents would be $5. That would be added to the $25. So for 100 minutes, the total charge would be $30. And I could continue. If I put in an input value of 200 for 200 minutes, the output or the charges that month would be $35, and so on. Notice that this is a table, and this is another way to describe the function that was presented at the beginning. Now let's consider a graph. So along the horizontal axis, I'll use a label M for the number of minutes, and then along the vertical axis, I'll use C to represent the charges. And so I'll put a few points along here. So at 100 minutes, 200 minutes, 300 minutes, and 400 minutes. And over here for charges, we'll start over here. I'll put in 25, 35, and 45. And we'll plot the first point, 0, 25, and I'll plot the last point, 400, 45, and then I'll connect them with a straight line. So here I have a graph that describes this function. If we recall, what we see here is for every 100 minutes, we see an increase of $5. And so what we see is a constant rate of change. This indicates a linear function. Now, if we go to the units, which is actually per minute, then we'll notice that our actual increase for every 1 minute is going to be 5 cents. And so 5 cents per minute is how we can understand the slope of this linear function. So I'm going to write down a formula. C equals 0.05 m plus 25. This is a formula that also describes this function. So if we look at this, first we began with a verbal description using only words. We summarized that and described it also in a table, and in a graph we've described it further, and also in this formula we have described this function that expresses the monthly charges as a function of the number of minutes.